Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Byrd Brains Dirty Dozen. This is number 12. There were 12 disciples, there were 12 eggs, and there are 12 podcasts out there.
12 months.
12 months, unless you're of a certain religion.
12 days.
I'm kidding. They're all 12. Everybody
Christmas?
has 12. 12 pair of shoes, if you own that many. I guess you really have about 12
That's
of anything,
like
right?
one shelf of my wife's closet.
Oh, that's called a segue, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
This is the ladies episode because we're all going to talk with lady voices. No, not really. Hey, let me introduce the people with me first. I have Jonathan Byrd to my right. But JB, somebody's with you. Who do you have with you, sir?
This is the lovely and talented Mrs. Byrd, Abigail Byrd, my lovely bride of almost 15 years now.
Almost 15 years. Get that over there. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Fantastic. You look nervous. Don't be nervous.
I'm a little nervous after hearing all these podcasts, but...
Oh, no, this one's going to be fine. This one's going to be fine. I am not going to talk about poop at all because there are ladies here. There are ladies here. And then directly to my left, I have Bryan Clauson. But Bryan Clauson, you have a more attractive second half with you. Who do you have with you?
Wait.
You're offended by that, aren't
I
you?
am.
I'm kidding, man. You'll always be my Huckleberry.
But you were practically just and her.
Oh, I've got my of my own. Her name's Caitlin, but she's not here. So yeah.
I know.
Who do you got with you?
Like she's Mario Lopez or something. This is the lovely Lauren.
And Lauren makes all the decisions in the relationship, right?
She does.
Yeah,
She's like,
did she just say my name?
She said, say my name, say my name. This radio show's on.
I mean, you got to get up here close to the mic if you're going to.
I don't have anything to say now. I just told you to.
Just say my name.
Oh, I like this. I like this better. And then the other unattached male in the room with me right now is David Byrd. Hey,
Unattached
David,
right here.
how do you feel? Do you feel as comfortable as I do right now not having a lady with you?
I'm good.
Good.
All
Good.
right. Let's just think about Mario Lopez.
Man, you love Mario Lopez, don't you?
Those dimples.
Those
It's
dimples.
like,
Oh,
look hot in here. You want a little more AC? You know what I'm saying? Cool. Hey, so what we're doing, we're going to have we're calling it Not Necessarily a Newlywed game because we do have a wed couple and we have a non-wed couple, but neither of them is newlywed. So we are just going to have the Not Necessarily Newlyweds. And what's going to happen is we have 4 questions, and we are going to ask the ladies these questions while the guys are out of the room. So guys, go ahead and get out of the room, head down the hall for a minute.
Okay.
And what's going to happen is we're going to ask them these questions, and then we are going to see if the guys can answer the questions for them. So as soon as they get out of here and shut the door.
Go into the isolation booth.
Yeah, they are now in the soundproof
Hallway.
Cool. Fantastic. So you guys have, perfect, you both have a pen and paper, so we can write these down to make sure you're not cheating. And here we go. The first question for you both, I'm going to just give you a second to write the 4 answers down. So number 1, what is your favorite topping for a hot dog? If you could only put one thing on a hot dog,
this is me.
what would you put on
me
it?
or this is him?
This is for
Both.
you. This is for you.
My one
It's about your
favorite
answer for
topping.
you. If you
Right,
could
so
put one thing on
they
it.
have to
One
tell
topping.
They're gonna
us
try
what
and guess
your
to see what they
favorite
know. And you can only have one. So if
Okay.
you'd like to have a lot of things, you can't do that. You can only pick one
Go
topping.
with the number 1.
But
So-
they can tell us, though, right? As they're
yeah,
writing the
you
answers
can, you
down.
can talk to your process if you want.
It's ketchup.
I just wrote ketchup, so
Ketchup.
totally
Cool.
ketchup.
Normally it's ketchup mustard, but I always reach for ketchup first.
Yeah, you do the red and the
Same
yellow,
here,
right? Right.
totally. And then cheese.
You
One-
fancy girl.
I like
one
multiple
fancy.
condiments.
We're talking through it.
One top.
I wrote
I-
ketchup. It's
Okay.
good.
I will tell you though. I lived in Chicago for 2 years, and if you ask for ketchup on a hot dog in Chicago, you will be
Oh.
asked to leave.
Yeah,
Like,
don't
literally,
I've heard
they
that
arrest
rumor.
you, right?
There's
on the
certain
spot?
places where you're asked to leave. Other places you're placed under arrest.
Okay.
It's a misdemeanor, but still.
Goes on your permanent record.
Chicago's strange like that.
Right, exactly. Hey, I'm moving on to number 2. All right, number 2. Thank you. Abby Byrd
You're
is
welcome.
keeping the bell going while JB's out of the room. Ready? If you were an article of clothing, which article of clothing would you be?
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
that's
You can talk
really-
through what's
that's-
going on in your brains right now.
Well, in the wintertime, I love what Brian calls ugly sweaters, like big, chunky, patterned sweaters, and he hates them, but I love them. I also love my Ugg shoes, which Brian, this might be inappropriate for the children, but Brian calls them my hoe boots.
It might be inappropriate, but it's
Ugg?
true,
Did I say
right?
it?
But it's true.
Uggs or hoe boots?
Yeah, he said
Really?
yeah, that type of females like to wear
that
them.
doesn't-
Remember,
Yeah.
Brian's that tame. He's that tame.
Yeah, that doesn't really go together though.
No.
Yeah. I've seen Pretty Woman. I know what hooker boots are.
Yeah.
Right.
I wear jeans a
not
lot
UGG.
too, though, so I might be jeans. I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of girl.
Kind of a
See,
hoodie,
that's the
kind of
thing.
a
What's
hoodie
the-
girl
what's
too,
your-
though.
Yeah.
What's your one go-to thing?
I mean, my first thought was boots, but then you've already kind of covered the boots. So I've
seen you in boots a lot, though.
accessory, because I'm more of a black and white with accessories. Scarf? Maybe I should go with scarf.
For
Oh
those of
man,
you-
there's so many accessories.
For the listeners right now, she's not wearing anything black or white, and that's what's so hilarious about her entire outfit.
all over the
But
Her entire
a
outfit.
scarf and boots.
Scarf. I'm going with scarf.
But yeah, again,
But Lauren is wearing her Uggs though.
I am.
yeah,
so-
you are. I
right?
have boots on.
and I'm not gonna get into this conversation with them about accessories and colors and all that. I'm just gonna say, if they were one article of clothing, if they had one thing, what would they want?
Oh, I changed my answer.
I'm considering that too, Lauren. I'm going to write down scarf, but I'm going to tell you right now that John is going to say purse.
Well, then if he's gonna say purse, write down what you think, because you're trying
But
to
that's
get the
not
point.
clothes.
See what he's gonna say. Well, yeah. Will he think clothes? Will he think clothes?
That's
for
why
that?
I'm sticking with scarf.
Okay, scarf.
Ketchup
I
scarf.
changed my answer to a race t-shirt because
Oh, that's a good one.
90 times a year at least I'm in a race
Yeah.
tee that says Bryan Clauson.
I feel like we're putting way too much thought into this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over real quick to Mr. Byrd. Can you agree with me that a lady in a race shirt or a sports shirt at the event, when you see it's like it just knocks it up a level of attractiveness? Do you feel that way too?
Really?
Yeah, I try to get my wife into race t-shirts. She's not really into it though.
I don't feel that way.
Oh,
I feel like it knocks it down.
Absolutely
Rude.
not.
That's just me.
rude, Abby.
Lauren's always adorable at the track. Cutest girl at the track,
No.
obviously.
It's like, hey, I'm invested in what's going on here,
Okay,
and that's
listen,
hot.
Abby, listen, we're trying to move merch here, so you have to say
I'm not
Hey,
trying to
how
move
about
merch.
this? How about
Girls
this one?
in race
I wear my
t-shirts are
DC
super hot.
Racing shirt to bed. How's that?
Good enough.
That's-
if you've
I
bought
mean,
it, it's good enough.
tell
Yeah.
everybody that race t-shirt equals hot. So we're
Hot.
trying-
Okay.
Lauren is trying
And you
to move
can
merch.
buy
She
one.
needs
Get
she
your
needs
BC gear.
furniture.
And you can buy it at bryanclauson.com.
That's right. She needs furniture for her house. So
Okay.
Yeah, that new house furniture isn't going to buy itself,
The
right?
whole show's going to be over,
No.
and their guys are never going to come
Yeah.
back
Listen,
anymore.
that's the goal. Don't tell them that's the goal. We don't want them to come. Are we done? Yeah, we're done. Cool. Hey, number 3. Ready for this?
Okay.
What's your spirit animal?
spirit animal.
What's your
Spirit
spirit
animal?
animal? That's a thing that the kids say these
Where'd
days.
you come up with this?
I
Okay.
just made
A
it up off the
giraffe.
top of my head. What'd you pick?
Giraffe, because it's my favorite
Horses.
animal.
Does he know that?
Oh, yeah, he knows it.
He better know that.
We
then.
got to go to the zoo and feed giraffes early this year, and I loved it.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right.
Oh, you can do that here?
Yeah, at the Indy Zoo. We actually went for a rhino visit, but we got really lucky. The giraffes were eating, so I got to feed them.
Oh, that's cool. What's your spirit
Pressure's
animal?
on there, Abigail.
I'm going to go with, I feel like John's going to say like a bird, some type of bird.
Well, duh.
So I'm
bird.
going with
Jonathan Byrd.
a bird.
And
Yeah, I know.
chicken?
It's
And
totally
she did put an
lame. I
eye.
can't think of anything
She
else.
did spell it with an I, just making sure.
Bird.
I was curious to see how she was
fried
I'm
chicken?
trying not to give like a certain bird because I should do a chicken.
And
Okay.
then, she's going to
Chicken,
specific.
totally
so here's the
chicken.
deal: if he says bird, I will say
counts.
you need to be specific.
And if he says
So
chicken,
I'll
then
give
we
that,
get like double
right?
ding
Well,
points.
there's no such thing as a double ding point. We did not institute. No, well, you can't do that. That's my bell.
Get me away from the bell. Okay.
Okay, and here's my favorite question.
Okay.
If you could describe your man in one word, what would that word be?
Oh,
Describe them in one word. And
gosh.
let's hear your thought process.
sarcastic, tries to be funny.
He is funny.
Kind of a word that starts with a D and ends with a K that I can't say because there's kids in the room.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you were going dork at first.
No.
but-
Double
No.
fantastic. With a K at the end. Fantastic.
He's really sweet, but sometimes he
So which
is
one-
other things.
Dump truck.
Which one is it?
Sarcastic.
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 I was going with like really good words, but after I mean, after the last podcast, I feel like I should do something about like game show.
Game show.
Oh, yeah. For those of you who listen to number
Aficionado.
11, Mrs. Byrd had no idea that Mr. Byrd
I'm
was
still in
really
shock.
into game
I'm
shows.
in shock.
How about ham?
Ham.
He is a
yes.
ham.
Ham.
I mean,
Ham.
what word does he think you'll say? That's what you have to think of.
He'll probably think I will say
Yummy.
Funny.
hysterical,
Entertaining.
entertaining, super sweet. That's probably my favorite, but I'm going to go with hysterical.
Hysterical.
Fantastic.
All right.
Sarcastic,
So
hysterical.
do we need like a separate like a tiebreaker?
Well, and then
Just in case?
we can do
Just do like a double
a tiebreaker. We'll go number on this one. How many?
Oh boy.
Pairs of
How many-
shoes.
Do they both like chocolate chip cookies? Does everybody like
Who
cookies?
doesn't like
no,
chocolate
them, the
chip
guys.
Brian's not a fan
Brad
of
doesn't
chocolate.
like chocolate.
He doesn't, but you do.
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
Okay, if they were like small chocolate chip cookies and you were in a contest, how many could you eat? And whoever gets that number, so you
How many
go-
could I eat?
How many could you eat? Like, and it's a contest. You're not just like sitting at home watching TV.
I mean-
you're trying to eat
How
as many as you
about
can.
favorite dessert How about favorite dessert?
No, because again, that's another question. You have to go something that's more quantifiable. So you go with a number on the tiebreaker. And I just want to see how many cookies they think they can
Oh
eat.
my gosh, you said little
I
cookies.
could eat a lot.
Yeah, they're kind of small. They're like they're
Chips
almost,
Ahoy.
Is there like a
Yeah, Chips
prize
Ahoy.
for eating the cookies? Because
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
needs
It's
to go
like
into this.
it's a new purse.
Okay, well,
There, now she cares.
how many dozen?
I
No.
mean,
Right.
I don't know.
You haven't eaten a meal, so
Like hundreds. I'm
put
a
a
big.
number.
I'm a big
what
eater.
number? What number do you think he'll say? That's
He'll
that's
say
really what
like
it is.
at least a box. So let's go with like
A dozen?
36?
A
like,
box is like
how much-
46, 50, somewhere around there.
36.
I think I could
Thinking
eat
of sleep.
34.
Sean's yelling at us in the hallway.
Yeah, they're getting really
34.
antsy.
34,
Cool.
that's your answer? I was
Hey, don't listen
Big
to him.
eater.
Okay, I'm
Again, you
going to
think
go
what he'll
with
say.
like, well, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go with 12, but then he's going to say like 1,200 or something.
So are we specifically saying Chips Ahoy? Is that
Yeah, that's what we said.
Okay.
We went Chips Ahoy.
12
Cool.
small.
Cool. And then go ahead and flip. Actually, take the papers and fold them up. So because David wrote them down, so he
Okay.
can actually be
Okay.
our test.
Okay.
So now we can't
Subject.
hear their answers.
So bring.
No,
oh,
you
no,
can
they
stay
can
here.
hear.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
It's
bring
not-
them back
it's not-
in. Wait for them to
Okay.
come back in here.
Come in.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring the guys back in.
They were right down the hallway.
They're not here yet.
The contestants have returned.
Boss is coming in with the fun. This guy is ready for a fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Just so you know, that was pyramid music you were singing.
Yeah. And I couldn't in that split second think of the right
$25,000
music.
per
What's the music for the Newlywed Game? Anybody remember?
Oh, that's how it started.
It's just a fart noise. See, I was close.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right on it.
So David has all the answers down
Wink
there.
Martindale.
And he's going to be. No, you don't. You can't give yourself the bell. Okay, man. The Byrd family loves that bell.
I
They
heard
do.
the bell a couple
They love
Oh,
that
okay.
bell.
Thank you, baby.
Okay, so here we go. You're going to answer these questions. The first 4 are worth 1 point each. If we need a tiebreaker,
I've already been threatened over here.
well, yeah, she already said this. What started it all in the last episode? She's like, "Oh, we're real good." So if not, Lauren's going to get mad.
Expectations have been set.
Okay, gentlemen, and we'll start. We'll go back and forth. So, JB, you'll start this round, and then
Alrighty
BC,
then.
you'll start next time. We're gonna have some hot dogs. Cool, and she can put one item of condiment on that. They can only put one thing on. They can put if they put multiple things on there, that's fine. But you only can
Think it
pick
out, honey.
one. So
Think it
you
out.
can't talk. You can't, and you can think out loud. But then you're gonna give me your final answer. So, JB first.
So what would she say? I said.
No, yeah. Well, what do you think she would put on her hot dog?
Oh, for you to put on your hot dog.
Yes. What do you think she would put on her hot dog? Watch, make sure they don't cheat. I'm gonna watch, make sure they don't.
Yeah.
I would.
Got my eyes on you, too.
I would.
It's either ketchup or mustard.
You got to pick one.
I know. I got to pick one of them. I'm pretty sure it's ketchup.
Survey says
That is correct.
that's correct. Yep. 1 point. 1 point. For, oh, gross. We're very close to each other right now.
Within inches.
This wasn't part of the deal.
All right.
Yeah.
BC.
I'll say the same. Ketchup.
That is correct. Hey,
First of all, I want to
let
point out that
me-
everybody is
let
ringing
me
my bell.
provide the answers,
And not in
okay?
a good way. I'm just saying.
So
Which
it's
is
1 to 1.
You make sure you keep it hidden. Keep it hidden. All right, BC, we're starting with you guys on this next one. If they, and I can ask this in several ways because I ask it and there were all sorts of clarifications, but if they could have or had one article of clothing, what would they pick? If they were an article of clothing, what would they want?
If they were.
So yeah,
Well,
that's how
Lauren?
I first ask you if you were an article, but then like if you could have one article or what's that one thing?
Your first word.
So yeah, the first thing I said is if you were an article of clothing, what would you be?
A hoodie.
And the answer
No.
is
Lauren said a race
She
t-shirt.
said a race T-shirt. But hold on, we talked about this. Isn't that hot?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
right. Especially when it's yours.
How did you miss it? I only wear that 100 times a year.
Because you usually have a race hoodie on over top of it.
Now, I will say that I did say she's kind of a hoodie girl. So,
So right
close.
now, it's David won, Bryan Clauson won, and Jonathan Byrd won, but Jonathan Byrd is yet to answer
I have
the
a
second
chance
question.
to take the lead. So if
If she were an article of clothing,
what would she be?
what would she be? No noises, no comments.
Man, it's either a scarf or this little thing here. I want to say scarf.
That's correct.
Oh, wow.
Now they're kissing
We
and
kissed
touching each
again.
other. It's weird. It's weird. Cool.
hey,
2-1.
no cheering,
2-1. Yeah, no noises.
because if you cheer before he's done his final
Right. You
answer,
can't- yeah.
Oh, I thought you said scarf and I cheered.
yeah, that's
Oh,
exactly.
yeah,
You have to
wait till
wait.
the day.
But I have to be the one.
Oh, the judge. I
That
forgot about my
confirms
Byrd
it.
Brothers
The judge.
Okay.
And
Brothers
this is
judge.
what happens when the brothers
I'm
are
gonna-
the
I'm gonna-
judges. Yeah, no, but he's right. He's right.
Conspiracy
So funny
theory.
that he said scarf. I didn't give it away.
Cool.
So, back to me.
1, 2, 1. Back to you.
I think BC. I think the BC's got the chance to maybe
Yeah.
tie it up on this
I
one.
want to see where this one goes. Yeah, I do too. Jonathan Byrd, what is your wife's spirit animal?
Oh,
God.
Abby's spirit animal. It
I don't think I know
is.
this one.
It is a dog. It's a white Shishan.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Judge.
Abby said her spirit animal is a chicken.
It's a chicken. She was going to go with just a bird.
Okay,
And
let me
then,
clarify this.
yeah, let her hear.
I said bird.
Yeah.
But then they all were like, oh, chicken. And I felt peer pressure. And I was like, a chicken.
I always said
Pressure.
dog because she is starting to love dogs like she loves dogs
I
now.
do love our dog. I don't
Well,
know that I love
our
the
dog.
Hey,
And
we're
Chevy. Hello, Chevy.
Yeah.
going right over here. I'm only a little happy because I didn't have to watch another kiss. But the thing is, Brian was excited right away. He said he thinks he knows this.
No, I have no idea.
Oh,
She
he
says
should
I
know. But
should
I
know.
also want to point out that Lauren just admitted to me that she actually kind of was the main peer pressure saying chicken to try and get the birds off track.
Okay, I see
And
what
now
It's
she's
mental games.
cackling like a witch. So I'm just saying it's working. What is her spirit animal?
She's a voodoo
Brian?
woman.
God. I
No
understand
help.
it.
No
But
help.
I can't. I don't even know.
Just keep repeating the same thing. Spirit animal.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about this at one time.
Animal from the Muppets.
Yeah.
It's a frog. Kermit.
No, I'm an animal.
Actually animal.
She seems to think you should know this based on.
Oh yeah, don't say anything.
No
don't say anything.
more
But she
stop
was
talking.
I'm
Bird brother,
The only
Judge.
thing I'm saying, I think it's hilarious that she's like, "Oh, he'll know this." Mic drop. And Brian's like,
I have no idea.
"Ketchup,
We'll go with a bear.
a bear." That is incorrect. The answer was
A giraffe.
a giraffe because you fed the giraffes, Brian.
Those are your favorite animals. You're so short. There's no way you'd be a spirit animal.
You know what? I like that. Watch
Okay.
it.
I was
Well,
going
watch
with.
it.
I was
So-
going with something
So
that
the last
slept
question,
a lot.
is it a 1-point question as well?
It's a 1-point question
so
as well.
he can answer and tie, and I have a chance to win.
Exactly.
Tiebreaker question.
Exactly. But
Okay.
there's a tiebreaker question. So if we
Jon
get to
Colby
it,
was prepared.
Okay.
well,
Wow.
not
So,
really, just
but,
made it
but
up
I
real
want
quick.
You go,
to
Bob.
add though that
Eubank.
spirit animal thing. I mean, maybe she is short, but she aspires to be tall. She thinks of herself as much.
She got a long neck.
taller than she is.
I don't really aspire to be a chicken.
Chicken. She wants to be a chicken.
I'm just talking about Lauren.
For the record, I do.
Thanks, Lauren.
I like
Africa
chicken.
is somewhere I've always wanted to go, and if I were a giraffe, I would be in my homeland.
Or you'd be in the zoo. Either one.
All right.
Circle of
Fourth
life.
question.
Or you'd be at Toys R Us.
All right.
Yeah.
This is my favorite question.
Oh boy.
I asked Lauren to describe you in one word. What one word would you say? And here's what I'm going to say for both of you, because your words are both very specific. So if you get the word right, I'll give you 2 points. But if you even get somewhere in the family, you know what I mean? Something that's close to that word, I'll give you 1 point. Yeah, because both of them kind of...
She's. I mean, God. She probably says lazy.
Lazy is the word, and
No.
she said a word. It wasn't much sweeter.
She said sarcastic.
Sarcastic. So the Byrd family's already taking home the trophy, which is, by the way,
Half-eaten coleslaw?
no, it's the last 2 bites of my biscuit.
Yes!
And that's not a euphemism. It's just my biscuit. Cool. But we're gonna go ahead and ask it anyway.
Okay.
What word would she describe you? One word.
Hilarious.
That's the
What
word.
did she gave? She actually said hysterical.
So you get one.
Did you put hysterical?
Yes.
She actually put hysterical, but she said hilarious. She said funny. She said all those words.
Why did I write hysterical?
I have no idea. He's not that funny. He's hilarious, but not hysterical, right? So you get the 1 point. So 3-1.
Yeah.
3-1. But I just want to do this extra one just for fun at this point now.
funsies.
Okay, Chips Ahoy, regular Chips Ahoy cookies.
Uh-huh.
How many could your ladies eat? And if there was a prize involved, and they could,
A good prize.
there was a good prize involved. I told her it was
chicken?
a purse. I told her it was a purse.
Okay.
Okay. But how many do you think she could eat?
A pack.
What does that mean?
A box.
Hold on. What's the number? I want your number, but you already said exactly what she said. She's like the whole thing.
I don't know what's a.
So how many do you think would
what's
be
a
in
box?
there?
I mean,
That's
I
what
don't-
she had to guess. So what would you guess?
Oh goodness. Yeah. 50.
She said 36, but the fact that you said a box is impressive.
Yeah, we think there's 36 in a pack. We could probably.
We're
get
trying
it.
to
yeah,
guess,
I mean, is
yeah.
it like a? I guess.
All-
I mean, it
all
depends
of
if it's
them?
a box or
All. That's not a number. That's not even close to a number. How many does she think she could eat?
How many you think you could eat? You could probably eat.
And hold on, he said I was really hungry.
You were really
He
hungry?
said
I
that.
said yeah, and I said there was a prize involved. You guys
Clarify.
hadn't eaten dinner.
Yeah.
You were asking a lot of questions.
12.
On the dot.
Hey, first of all, I want to point out it's not even that he loves you that much. It's that he studied you just for game show reasons. He just loves game shows.
Creeped out.
What are we at? We have time? Okay, cool. We have 8 minutes. Cool. This is our holiday episode.
Yes!
I want to go into some
I've
holiday
never
stuff.
done that good ever. It's so exciting.
I will say it makes sense that they did win. I mean, 15 years of marriage.
Right.
You know, they've been together for 15 and a half
You have,
years.
like, kind of
So-
more-
Wait, hold on. You were only how long were you together before you got married?
Our first date. Our first date
Talk
was
about this.
July 7th of 2000,
Okay.
and I asked her to marry me on September 20th. So that was 3 months, and then we were married at
sure
December
that's 2.5.
29th, 2000. So
6 months.
it was, but she actually, I met her in January of 2000.
So you
because
knew
she
her
was,
before.
Well, she was working for
For
us.
a whole couple months. I mean, it wasn't.
So she
that
started
long.
working.
Why
She
you
started
working
working the Byrd.
so-
She went to JB's. The first time I ever saw her, you know what my words to her was? It was, we don't wipe scraps on the floor. It was love at first
No wonder you guys are so on the
love
same
at first
page.
management, dude.
That's hilarious.
First management.
Okay, I have to tell a completely personal story. Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, Caitlin, my girlfriend, and I, she'll actually be listening to this, and I won't.
We're
block
sorry.
her
Someone will.
on- yeah, exactly. She'll be. We'll call her our listener. Cool?
We have a name for people who.
All right.
Yeah.
We call her Caitlin. That's the one. She and I worked together. We taught together at the same school for the last 2 years. Okay. But she took a 1 year leave from work to go work for Shepherd Community, doing outreach. She's like a really good person, all this stuff. But on the last day of school, and she and I had directed shows together. We'd been speech coaches together. We'd gone out to eat different times over the 2 years. But I'm like, hey, we should go out to eat, kind of a last hurrah. In my brain, we're going to go out and I'm not going to see her anymore. Well, we went out, ended up hanging out all night. And then they're like, whoa, there may be something there that wasn't there before. That's from Beauty and the Beast, right? So then we go out.
I like how you go ahead.
I
And,
didn't see
I
that
look
one.
at you.
yeah, like hand deliver the reference
Hey,
for me.
your grandma would know. 'Cause, I directed Beauty and the Beast, too, by the way. It's another show I've directed.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
So yeah, there you go.
awesome.
There you go. But so then we ended up going out a few days later, and like, oh wait. And then over the summer, I traveled a lot doing improv and stuff. But we stayed in touch, and we like anytime I was back in town, we went out and all this stuff. And so we've been dating now for 5 months.
Yeah.
5 months. And what's funny is I've been talking to her, and she's gonna hate that I'm talking about this. No, because she's our only listener. So literally
Angry
this
fan mail
weekend
coming
we
our
were
way.
talking. This weekend we're like, well, when do we get married, or when do we start talking about this stuff, whatever. And she just completely joking around, but not completely joking around. She goes, what about December 26th? Because you'll be on Christmas break, and then we're going to New York that next week anyway, so we'll already have something planned, fun to do, whatever. And we were just kind of talking about that, and she's like, "Is that too soon? That's too soon. That's too soon. Whatever." And immediately we started no, and then we kind of started talking about, well, maybe in June, maybe somewhere between December and June, and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. So I text JB the other day, and I'm like, "Hey, we're just seeing nobody's gonna have a reception place available this close, right?" And he's like, "Yep, both of ours." Because if you're looking for a place for a wedding reception or any other type of event, you can go to Jonathan Byrd's on the south side or 502 on the north side.
Absolutely. Not only will they marry you, feed you well, but you can get on game shows 15 years from now.
Yeah, exactly. And then in 15 years from now, we could compete. So he's like, yeah, there's actually availability on both locations on that day or whatever.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow. So I told her, and she goes, I don't know, we should think about it. And I'm like, well, let's just pray about it and ask for a sign, whatever. So yesterday I went to her community center and I worked with this group of boys, 5th and 6th graders, and worked on team building and leadership. I can help your business as well, JonColby.com. But we talked about that kind of stuff. And then afterwards I left, and one of the guys that works there walked up to Caitlin and said, "Hey, is that your man friend?" And she goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm just saying man friend because we're all adults here. Boyfriend sounds weird." He goes, "He's a really cool guy. I mean, I don't know where you guys are, but if you told me you wanted to marry him, I'd be okay with it." Totally unprovoked, he said that the day after we were talking about praying for it. So I'm like, maybe still too soon, maybe too soon. That was yesterday. Today, I find out that you guys got married in 6 months, from July to December, and literally December 29th and December 26th. So that was me. I wasn't Lauren or one of the Byrds. So, yeah, I'm sorry I shared such a long personal story.
No, that's awesome.
But I just think that's cool.
Caitlin.
Right? No, I'm excited. Whenever, the listener. Cool. So there's that.
Well, that's cool. Well,
I think
I feel like
it's meant to
go on
be.
double date now, so we know everything now.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to talk about anything. Do what?
It's a to be continued.
Oh, yeah. Who knows what will happen by the next one? So, yeah. Wait, my question is, how long have you guys been dating?
Close to 5 years.
So there's typically a follow-up question. Lauren, we're going to ask you to leave the room for a couple.
Well, here. This is where we're at in our relationship. The other day, we're moving stuff to the new house, and I said, Brian, if we get married, people will buy us presents so we can have like dishes and things. And he was like, that might be the best reason for getting married you've given me yet.
So I want all the listeners at home, you can vote for either that sweet line or the first line that Jonathan Byrd ever said to his now bride of 15 years or whatever.
We're real romanticists here.
Right? That's funny. So how'd you guys meet?
You want to handle it? You want me? Kind of through a friend that introduced us. But the first time we hung out was actually, I was at an appearance, and she was working it. And,
working it?
Yeah, was she working it? Those are two different.
Both figuratively and literally. It was actually a test drive appearance. It was a Chevy test drive appearance. It was actually at the Knoxville Nationals.
If you can hear that, we're all getting arrested for having too much fun.
And so at the end of it, we took the Camaro. She decided she wanted to test drive, so she picked her favorite person that was there that day. Probably the
Hold on, did you really want the test drive? You really did? Okay.
She's been test driving.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So hold on.
She's been test driving for 5 years now.
Get the mic over there now. So walk me through this process of how long did it take you to get up? Because he's like, and then finally she decided. How long had you been thinking about it before you got the guts?
Well, I got a push from our mutual friend. Her name's Misha. She was actually technically Brian's boss at the time. She had a big hand in it. So this was in August. She pushed us in this Camaro to drive together. And then
Lauren almost killed me on this test drive.
I did. True story. I also put it in park and told him if he was the professional driver, he could do it. And then we rode back in silence.
Not so nicely.
Correct.
There were some 4-letter words that are being.
So
it wasn't love.
So that was August. And then we reconnected in September. A month later, he won a race. I was his trophy girl.
And still is.
Trophy girl.
I actually reassigned the trophy girl so that I was sure
Did
to
you
line
really?
Yeah. So that I was sure to line up with Brian.
Did you know that, Brian?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was obvious. She wasn't very good
Yeah, I wasn't very discreet.
Not
It's been 5 years. She's pretty
then-
good
Well,
at
she
something,
pushed
I
the other
guess.
girl off the stage.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
Right, pushed her right off. I got him. And then that was September. And then in January is when we really started hanging out. Again, thanks to the mutual friend, Misha. I needed a date to a dinner I was going to. And she was like, oh, let's ask Brian. And she put a time limit on it. And at midnight that night, she called Brian over and asked him to be my date. And as I turned bright red, I don't think he could say no. And then a week later, he was my date. And we've been together ever since.
Still in the test drive.
That's awesome. Hey, anything that she missed out on? Anything?
That pretty much covered.
Pretty much nailed it. Hey, speaking of not being able to say no, we have a challenge. Once this podcast is released, if we can get 1,000 views within 24 hours, he will propose within 1 month of that.
I think
you
you'll
have
be
24
safe.
hours.
I think you'll be safe.
24 hours. But again, if you listen to this, tell your friends.
Oh,
The day
yeah.
comes out, you'll have 24
Instead
hours.
of ring finger exercises.
Right.
Right,
No,
exactly.
no, we've had several challenges. There's this one race in New Zealand. It's a 50-lapper, big race over there. There was always a deal if he won the 50-lap race that our friends in New Zealand were going to take him ring shopping the next day. Well, I'm pretty sure he purposely lost the 50-lapper for like 4 years in a row. And last year he finally hung on to the lead and won. And in the interview, which is like on live TV over there in New Zealand, the announcer, says, all right, Brian, good job. Finally winning the 50-lapper. And then the camera pans to me and he says, now you got to ask Lauren to marry you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And that was almost a year ago. And
Did you think about it? Like as you were driving the race, did you ever think about it?
hit the brakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer.
Car
The whole
sputter.
time, right?
whole time.
That's what motivated you to the win, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, JoJo is giving us the signal, which is not a code for anything mean. She's actually just saying that we are out of time. That is correct. So thank you guys so much for listening. Going around the horn, we have the Byrds, we have the future Clausons, and we have another Byrd, JoJo. I'm Jon Colby. Thank you guys so much for listening. And as always,
We're
very, very sorry.